Hello everyone, Aaron Bowen in the Obla Library. Welcome to the second of our 6 videos expanding upon our in-person instruction session. This video relates to Module 6 of the course, and the Module 6 discussion topic: describe 3 social determinants of health and how public health interventionists are addressing these issues. I'm going to give an example of strategic exploration on the web as a way of finding authoritative and useful information on the topic of lead in public water supplies, as an example. This being a public health issue, and something that public health officials will take an interest in and want to study and address and develop interventions to help reduce lead in public water supplies. So, topic that fits right in with the Module 6 discussion. If you remember from the last video, we looked at how authority may be subjective or constructed, and at the best ways to evaluate the authority of information that you find. One of the best ways to evaluate that authority is to strategically explore facts, and the facts behind the information that you are reading and interpreting. So with that in mind, I am, in this discussion, first going to give an example of a Google search, describe a similar search in a library database, and then present selected examples of factual sources to better inform the results of the Google search and the database search that I would do. So, here is Google. If I type in lead in water, I get the following search results. Some are possibly questionable authority. drinktap.org. Who are they? I don't know. I'm not familiar with them. They may be fine. They may even be valuable. I could look and find out and see what I could figure out about this organization and see what they have to say. And it might be good information. That said, I also have the Environmental Protection Agency down here. Waterresearch.net. Again, I could look into them and find out who they are and what their agenda is, why they put information online, what they seek to do. I could investigate that. Center for Disease Control. So a mixture of sources that I could investigate because I don't recognize them, and sources that I do recognize, and more specifically recognize as authoritative. And then I've also got some examples of municipal information and state information. Here, for example, is the city of Portland, Oregon, putting a page online on how you can reduce exposure to lead with the following strategies. So here is the state of Minnesota doing something similar. How to protect yourself and your family. Background information. Lead in Minnesota's water. I've also got some news sources as well. Wall Street Journal right there, and CNN, And I can take a look at the dates of those two articles. This one from just a few weeks ago, and this one a bit older, 2016, but that's still reasonably current. I'm a little surprised that a news article about Flint, Michigan didn't come up, given the difficulties that that city has had with lead in its water supply. It is mentioned in this phys.org article here. Phys.org is sort of like drinktap.org to me. I'm not familiar with the organization, so I would want to look into them and find out more who they are and what kinds of information they offer, what sorts of agendas they have. But researchers create a smartphone system to test for lead in water. That is certainly a very cool innovation and very notable innovation if the reporting holds up. And as I say, it may be entirely appropriate. It may be perfectly fine. It's something I could look into the organization to assess its level of authority and find out. So that is what I get by searching Google, and I could explore further from there. I could also conduct a search if I'm interested in news reporting about lead in water. I could also search newspaper databases through the library. We've got access to both the Newsbank and the InfoTrack newsstand databases. So if I want to look into Flint further, it certainly generated a lot of news reporting a little over a year ago regarding lead in its water supply. So I could explore that avenue of the public health effects of lead in water in that particular municipality further by searching for news from Flint. That said, it is news reporting, and while much news reporting is very good and very useful, I want to check out the facts behind the reporting as well. And that involves stepping away from news sources and instead looking at fact-based sources that, for example, are not tied to any particular municipality, but rather offer straight factual information about drinking water and public health concerns relating to drinking water, about lead and what effects lead can have on human beings, and from there combine them into an information inquiry into the health effects of lead in water. To do that, I will do some strategic exploration through organizations that I am already familiar with and recognize to have valuable factual information. Medline Plus, for example, is an excellent public health information website. You may recognize the name from PubMed as well. PubMed and Medline are two sides of the same coin. PubMed is a database put together by the National Institutes of Health that offers some free information and some proprietary information, meaning the university libraries pay for access to Medline and then turn around and open access to all of you as students so you can use it for your research. An excellent health database, and PubMed includes access to Medline. It includes Medline information. Medline is kind of the free online public health side of PubMed. So you can just go to medlineplus.gov and search it and browse your way through it. In my case, I'll click on Health Topics and then go over to W for drinking water, water pollution, and water safety is boating safety and what to do if you get stung by a stingray, for example. So water safety in its recreational sense is not particularly relevant, but drinking water and water pollution both are. So drinking water gets me all kinds of links from the Environmental Protection Agency, the CDC, the FDA, on health issues relating to drinking water. Lead and drinking water from private wells, for example. So, emergency disinfection of drinking water. So I can look further into these links. They come from different government agencies that offer factual information about drinking water in this case. Water pollution, same deal. U.S. Geological Survey, National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. So this is kind of the pollution aspect of water. Again, none of this is directly tied to lead yet. Drinking water had a couple of links to, one link to lead specific information, but the rest of it is still just about drinking water and the safety of drinking water and pollution in drinking water. So that is some good background factual information about water. For lead, again, all kinds of different things I can do, but I'll, in this case, go to the Center for Disease Control and search lead in water. I can browse through the site as well, but in this case, I'll just search. The CDC's page on healthy drinking water and their page on lead right here. So background factual information about lead. And from there I can go back and look at my further search results there, such as lead-based an issue with lead-based water lines from there. Now this link mentions Healthy People 2020, which is another website put online by our government, worth knowing about and investigating in looking at what public health officials will be interested in and will consider as a source for looking at public health interventions to address different public health issues. So my search results on lead and water from there, and I can do the same thing searching or browsing in Kansas Health Matters, a Kansas-specific public health website. All of these sources offer data and data sets as well, so they're all well worth knowing about and investigating when looking at strategic sources for exploration. When you are coming up with strategies for addressing public health questions and finding information on public health issues. As always, if you have any questions at all, please email me or call me. Email is on the University Library's webpage, research guides, and course guides. Public Health Sciences right there. Email me, call me, set up an appointment. I'll be glad to help you with any questions you have on the research process. Just let me know what you come up with. Thanks, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.